Hello, welcome to Margaret LALIK'S kitchen. Today we are going to make one dough, and from that dough we are going to make a sourdough bread and also delicious pizza. As you may know, my nephew Alex is staying with me next few days and I'm enjoying his delicious cooking. Today he is going to show us how to make a sourdough bread and pizza from one dough. Let's see how Alex makes his dough. He's using 440 grams of water, which is equal to 15 ounces of water. He's testing the yeast, dropping a little bit to see if the yeast floats, then he has a good yeast to work with. It's floating, so he's adding the rest of the yeast to the water. This is a homemade yeast which I had made a few months ago, about 6 months ago. He's using 60 grams of yeast, which is equal to 4 tablespoons. If you don't have homemade yeast, you can also use 1 package of dry yeast. He's adding half a cup of semolina to 670 grams of all-purpose flour, which is 3 cups plus 2 tablespoons. So 3 cups plus 2 tablespoons will equal to 670 grams of flour. He's mixing the dry ingredients and adding it to the wet ingredients. Once flour and water is incorporated, we are going to let it sit for about 15 minutes. "15 minutes had passed and Alex is adding the remaining water. And he's going to mix it again and get a very sticky dough. This is what it will look like after a few minutes of mixing. We are going to let this rest for another half an hour. Half an hour had passed and we are folding it again, one more time. And we are going to let it rest for another half an hour. Half hour had passed and Alex is folding it again, and this time he's adding 4 tablespoons of olive oil. and 2.5 teaspoons of salt. This time I took over and I'm trying to fold it again, and this will be one last time, and Alex will stretch it after that, and then we'll put it in the refrigerator and continue tomorrow. Alex stretched the dough and then he transferred it on the counter and he's making a ball. This will be the last time and it will end up in the bowl in the refrigerator. We'll put it in the refrigerator and we'll continue working on it tomorrow. Alex is applying a little bit of olive oil onto the bowl, and he's going to put the dough in the refrigerator until next morning. The dough was resting in the refrigerator overnight. This morning, Alex is preparing to make the bread and the pizza. He's adding 2 tablespoons of semolina and 2 tablespoons of all-purpose flour in a small plate. Since we don't have Benettons, we covered a small bowl, medium-sized bowl, with a clean cotton towel, and we are going to use that as a Benetton. Alex took the dough out of the refrigerator and he's transferring it on the counter. He's going to cut it into 2 halves because he's going to use 1 half to make a bread and the other half to make pizza. Alex is applying oil and he's going to put the pizza dough back in the refrigerator. He's sifting semolina and flour mixture that he had mixed earlier onto the bread mold. He's applying a little more flour and semolina on top of the dough, and he's stretching the dough one last time. Stretching and folding. This was the last stretch and fold. We are going to leave it in the mold in the room temperature until we're ready to cook it. Maybe 2 hours or a little more. It has been more than 2 hours. Our dough had been proofed and it has risen. I am drawing some leaves to give it a nice design. I'm going to show you how to do it. I'm using an X-Acto knife. I purchased this X-Acto knife for this purpose, just to shape the bread. It's a clean X-Acto knife, and I'm just drawing leaves on 4 sides of the bread. The oven was preheated already at 500 degrees Fahrenheit. We have been cooking pizza prior to cooking the bread, so the oven is hot. You have to have a hot oven. Alex was warming up a big pot to use it on top of the bread. By covering the bread with a big pot, he creates a Dutch oven effect. He's going to cook it for about 10 or 15 minutes. Then he will remove the pot. It's been 15 minutes already and he's removing the pot, and he's going to continue cooking. The entire cooking period will be about 40 minutes. If you have not subscribed to my channel, please subscribe and share it with your friends. We have been keeping an eye on the bread, and the bread is turning into beautiful golden color. It's like beautiful brown, and it's ready. So it's been 40 minutes already. and Alex is taking it out of the oven. It looks beautiful. The house is full of delicious aroma. It smells bread everywhere, and it is delicious. I wish I could share the smell with you as well. Bread making is a form of art. It's so much fun. You have to ferment it to perfection, then you have to shape it and design it, and then cook it to perfection. Alex is showing us how the bread should sound like. It should sound like a hollow inside, and it should feel very light. You don't need much with this bread. All you need is butter and honey, or you can have any kind of condiment, maybe cheese, olives, glutenita, anything you like, anything you desire, you can have it with this bread, and it will taste delicious. Life is good, enjoy it with good friends and with good food. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel and follow us for more delicious recipes. Me and Alex are saying thank you for joining us, and have a good night, have a good day, good week, and good life. Bye bye.